Good morning, good morning, good morning. As you can see, we are at the top of the page, at the top of the book. I told you guys it was coming, and today is the day. Today is the day we start over. We start from the beginning because I have to install, what's the word I'm looking for? I have to install devices in the very beginning of the story in order to hook the reader. If you can imagine my arm being hook the reader, pulling them in. I got to install these devices. I also have to make the story a little more interesting from the beginning, and I have to talk a little bit more about this title, Bajillion. Okay, there's a lot of things I got to do. So I have to add some more meat to the story. So that's what we're going to be doing right here from the beginning. So we're going to highlight this first chapter 1 in green, because this is the starting point now. And I left the color, I left where I left off yesterday. I left that, green and red as well. So we'll know where we stopped at the last time. Anyways, without further ado, man, we're going to get right into it. I hope you guys are enjoying this type of music. This is hip hop jazz. Welcome back again. Today's December 19th, one of my son's birthday. Happy birthday. You know who you are. I'm not going to say your name. Anyways, it was another warm morning in Green Pond, a small town with only a handful of stop signs and one blinking yellow light. The charming little settlement sat approximately 13 miles north of Walterboro, South Carolina. While little coolness that had been left behind by the night had all but faded away, and as the fog dissipated by the rising sun, the bajillion day dwellers of a forest were awakening to a new crisp morning. Somewhere in the lush green woods, as a father and son walked down a beaten path, fishing lines, hooked and tangled with branches and spider webs, were constantly being brushed away. Eyes were looking up and down for creepy crawlers as they continued to go to the fishing hole. As they continued on their way, as they continued to the fishing hole. With anticipation hovering about both dark faces, they were hoping that after reaching their destination, and like so many other times, a sense of tranquility, don't need to say what they're hoping for. With anticipation hovering about both dark faces, I don't have to say what they're hoping for. You don't, that's telling you again. With anticipation hovering about both dark faces, like so many times, a sense of tranquility was taking them over. Was feeling okay. With anticipation hovering about both dark faces, like so many other times, a sense of tranquility was taking them over. Okay, that's better. But hopefully things, I don't have to put but. You see why it's important to start over. Hopefully things wouldn't be like the last time, when too many fish, too small, or the occasional turtle took the worm. What did I don't even know why I put this on there. Why did I highlight this? And how do you do you take that off? No color. Oh, I need to. My goodness. Back up. Back up. Let's go ahead and highlight this. And okay. I don't know why. With anticipation hovering about both dark faces, like so many other times, a sense of tranquility was taking them over. Hopefully things wouldn't be like the last time when too many fish too small or the occasional turtle took the worm. Boy, it's sure getting hot. Feel like the sun done moved down here closer to us, or whatever them scientists say. So let's see, I got a note over here. Henry Wallace is a name for now. That was September. Wow, I've been working on this since September. Don't feel like that heat. Let's see. Boy, it's sure getting hot. Boy, it sure is getting hot. Boy, it sure is getting hot. Boy, it's sure getting hot. Let's see, yes. Boy, it sure is getting hot. Feel like the sun done moved down here closer to us, or whatever them scientists say, said Henry. Okay. Now I'm gonna leave the note. Don't feel like that heat on the top of that. Oh, don't you feel that heat on the top of that bean head of yours? He asked his son. Yep, I feel it, but it don't hurt, 'cause I'm strong. And my thermos is keeping my super juice nice and cool, said little Jacob before taking a sip. Man, oh man, I tell you. Writing is magic, first of all. But if you can think of, like, say a magician on a stage trying to pull a rabbit out of the hat, and there's no rabbit. He has a hat, but there is no rabbit. You know, he's just up there trying to improvise, trying to conjure up a rabbit. You know, that's writing. Believe me, there is no rabbit. So, but he's maybe there's a rabbit on the way. Maybe his friend is bringing a rabbit, but the friend is not there yet. But he has the magic wand. He has the top hat in the hand. He has his outfit on, and he has 200 people anticipating this rabbit coming out of the hat. Well, you know, writing is pulling that rabbit out of thin air. That's what writing is. And what you guys are witnessing right now is me trying to figure out how to get that rabbit out of thin air. That's writing. It's not easy. It's not easy. And like the magician, I have the imagination. I have ideas how to do it. But the most important thing is the gumption. You know, the willingness to get up there on stage in front of people, i.e. books. Every performance is a book. You guys are witnessing how I orchestrate putting that rabbit in a place to where you can't see it. You know what I mean? You guys are witnessing me waiting on that friend to show up and presenting that rabbit in such a way that you don't realize that the friend had snuck on stage and slipped it through the curtains, and the rabbit is hopping up behind me as I speak, but you can't see it because there's a table in front of you with a tablecloth that's so long that it goes down to the floor. But I showed you underneath the table before. I showed you there's nothing underneath the table. There's nothing in the hat. There's nothing underneath the table. I mean, there's nothing I flip the table upside down so you can see. That's it in a nutshell. That's writing. It's magic. But now there's another part about writing. That's real magic, and I'll give you an example of what real magic is. Real magic is when you absolutely positively are hungry as hell, and there's a snack machine, but you don't have any money. You go stand by that snack machine, hoping, wishing, praying that some money comes out of the thin air, just appears, or somebody sees you and gives you $1, or somehow magically a bag of chips fall by you just simply touching this. Whatever it is, you are hungry. And I'm speaking from the writer's perspective or the magician's perspective. This is real magic. You go back to your car, look through your ashtray, look through your center console, look through the crevices of your seats, look underneath the seats, and all of a sudden you see what looks to be a $5 bill. And you know it wasn't there before. That also happens. That happens in real life, but it also happens with writers a lot. So we're hoping for that with this book. We're hoping for that as I go over this first section for the second time. And I assure you it's going to happen. It always does. It always does. Always. So with that being said, let's take it. Let's pick that sentence back up. Boy, it sure is getting hot. Feel like the sun done moved down here closer to us. Feel like the sun done moved down here closer to the earth. Or whatever them scientists say. Or whatever the scientists say. Said Henry. Don't you feel that heat on the top of that bean head of yours? Yes, the son. Yep, I feel it. But it don't hurt me. But it don't hurt me. 'Cause I'm strong. Plus, and me reading this out loud is helping so much, and reading it from the beginning again is helping me reinforce the characters so far. You know what I mean? Because I'm reading this now, and I'm noticing that Henry, his dialect, the way he speaks, is different from where I left off. He sounds a little more. He sounds a little more country in the beginning. I'm strong. Plus, my thermos is keeping me. It's keeping my super juice nice and cool, said little Jacob. Okay, so now let's add to the super juice. Let's add to the super juice. Was it lemonade? You guys understand what I'm doing later on, but can't really explain what I'm doing right now. You know. Alright, so it's been 16 minutes. I'll be honest with you guys, and girls, I'm not feeling it this morning because I had to start over. But I just put something in that's very important. That last sentence I put in was very important. The boy's super juice was lemonade that his mother had whipped up with real lemons and honey. Jacob took it upon himself to add something extra. And I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it right there, y'all. And so this is the green. I'm gonna just leave it right there. We're gonna bring it back here tomorrow. This is a little bit terrifying, starting over, and yeah. But anyways. Alright, so boy's super juice was lemonade that his mother had whipped up with real lemons from a lemon tree, from her lemon tree. And honey. And honey from a neighbor's beehive. Is beehive one word? Yeah. All right. Should has a beehive. All right. All these little details. Have you ever seen a painting, like one of those upside down paintings where somebody's speed painting and it's upside down? You can't tell what's going on until the painting is done and flipped right side up. That's what you're witnessing right now. You don't see. I know what I'm doing in my mind, but you don't know why I'm starting over, first of all, but also why I'm adding certain things in now. But you'll realize it later on, you know, if you stick around. I hope you do. All right, so the boy's super juice was lemonade, and this is also a hook. The boy's super juice was lemonade that his mother had whipped up with real lemons from her lemon tree, and honey from a neighbor's beehive. I spelled Jacob wrong. I put Jocab. Joe Cap. Jacob took it upon himself to add something extra. All right, so that something extra is a hook. It's a small hook. It's a small hook. It's a small hook. A subtle but small hook. So the reader is thinking, what did Jacob took it upon himself to add something extra, and this took place on page 2. So actually page 1. Page 1. That's, you got that small hook right there on page 1. So the reader might say, Jacob took it upon himself to add something extra. Okay, so Jacob took it upon himself to add a little something extra. A little, to add a little something extra. Despite the little being okay. I don't want to do too much here. But I do want that hook when you go fishing. If you guys go fishing, if you've never been fishing, you can imagine you got a hook. If you don't know anything else about fishing, you know that you got to have a hook. You got to have a hook. Now, also, if you don't know anything about fishing, you would imagine that a good hook versus a flimsy hook is better, right? All I'm doing right now is making this a better hook. Okay, and I may have to work on that part a little bit more, but page 1, I want to hook the reader in some kind of way. I can hook the reader on every page, but page 1, you definitely want that light bulb to go off in the reader's head to make the reader say, oh, what is this? I got to stick around to see at least what's going on. That's what I'm doing. And like I said before, I'm reading this out loud, and I've never read a book of mine out loud that I can remember as I was going through the process. And the only reason I'm reading it out loud now is because I'm making videos. But it's the byproduct of me reading it out loud is that it is allowing me to hear the flow of the story, but also allowing me to subconsciously document certain things, out loud, which is better. You can have a thought, but you know how many we think we have, I think it's 50,000 thoughts a day or 60,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot. But when you speak words out loud, your subconscious mind records them better. It's almost like having what you call those people in court, the stenographers. I don't know the name of the people, but the people typing. It's like documenting the words. It's etching it in your subconscious mind. With all that being said, it's been 23 minutes now. I wanted to end this a little bit longer. A little bit earlier, but the boy's super juice was lemonade that his mother had whipped up with real lemons from her lemon tree and honey from a neighbor's beehive. Jacob took it upon himself to add a little something extra, despite the little being much more than, despite the little extra being much more than that. All right, I'm gonna leave it right there. And the little bit extra that Jacob added, I'll go ahead and tell you. I won't tell you because I want you to stick around. I want to hook you. I want to hook the reader. That's why I changed the thumbnail to match a little bit better the title, Bajillion. and that's the thumbnail I'll be using going forward. I had to turn the page, so to speak, and so now what we're witnessing is something new. With that being said, I thank you all for stopping by. This is Anthony L. Kelly. Till next time, hit that like, subscribe, share, comment. I'm out.